The dawn of humanity's first contact was as catastrophic as it was brief. The initial anomaly was spotted by a handful of amateur stargazers who believed they had witnessed the light of a distant supernova gracing Earth's night sky. These celestial enthusiasts, with their backyard telescopes, were soon thanked by NASA in a modest announcement on their webpage, a commendable achievement, yet barely enough to warrant more than a local newspaper's sidebar. Behind the scenes, however, NASA dialed a number that had gathered dust for over 50 years, enacting a protocol often mocked within the administration. "Mr. President, we have evidence of extraterrestrial life." This sentence, once leaked to the media, became the harbinger of a new era for humanity. The urgency, NASA insisted, lay in the ticking clock. Their advanced telescopes discerned something sleek, metallic, and unmistakably artificial in the blinding pinprick of light. Calculations revealed that this object was hurtling towards Earth at a speed that hugged the boundary of light itself. Within hours, even the most casual stargazers and commercial observatories would notice that this light was far too bright for any supernova. NASA's gentle attempt to convey this to the president soon expanded to top-level officials across the government. After the initial shock, they dropped the real bombshell. The trajectory of this craft had dire implications for Earth's ecology. If it doesn't slow down or change course significantly, there's a high probability it will collide with the moon, they warned. The moon, if struck by an object moving at such an unfathomable speed, would face catastrophic consequences. Estimated time to impact, 13 hours. In an unprecedented move, the president sent urgent messages to every reachable head of state, preparing for an emergency press conference within the hour. Responses from other nations confirmed the same alarming scenario, with varying levels of detail. As the world learned of the impending crisis, a tense stillness descended. Trains halted, planes grounded, and cars pulled over as radios and televisions broadcasted frantic updates. Humanity collectively held its breath, eyes glued to a twinkling star that grew ominously brighter. Surprisingly, panic was scarce. Later analyses suggested that the rapid escalation left no time for chaos to take hold. People were too engrossed in witnessing what might be the end of the world. Estimated time to impact, 9 hours. With less than 30 minutes until impact, the unexpected happened. The object flared, outshining the sun and visible to the naked eye, even from Jupiter's orbit. Panic began to surge, only to be quickly quelled by reassurances from numerous space agencies. The UFO was decelerating at an extraordinary rate, though still on a collision course with the moon. The craft, now a visible yet not blinding streak across the sky, impacted the moon. A red dot blossomed on the moon's gray surface, soon obscured by plumes of ash. Humanity had just witnessed undeniable proof of alien life. And then, drained by the adrenaline rush of a 13-hour vigil, most of the world went to sleep. The next day, headlines buzzed with the unprecedented revival of space programs across the globe. Within a week, a flurry of launches coordinated manned flights, broadcasting equipment, and cargo tanks towards the moon. With a more manageable timeline, people resumed their daily lives, albeit with a renewed sense of cosmic curiosity. The consensus was clear: the world was no more at risk than before the incident. Life, after all, had to go on. 1 week later, the world watched with bated breath as rockets ascended, heading towards the moon. Nearly an hour later, these craft descended near the impact crater, now a massive scar on the lunar surface. The dust had settled enough for the live footage to reveal a haunting sight. Fragments of the alien craft scattered throughout the crater. Twisted and scorched pieces of a once smooth, gunmetal hull lay in disarray. Some parts remained relatively intact, albeit marred by spiderweb cracks. The astronauts breached the inner hull using drills, plasma cutters, and super-chilled nitrogen. Inside, they found sterile, white corridors, eerily reminiscent of human architecture, but devoid of any signs of life. The mood was light as they collected samples, debating whether the discoveries belonged to any particular nation or should be shared as public domain. 4 hours and 48 minutes into their exploration, the live body cam feeds abruptly cut off. Panic spread until an ISS camera captured the epic-making image. Two more silver ships, glowing red-hot, hovered over the crater. The human crafts launched a flurry of flares and chaff in response. From the alien ships, blue lasers sliced through space, obliterating the human vessels. The cause of the camera blackout was clear. Seconds later, some of the flares exploded into brilliant white spheres visible from Earth. The ISS feed showed a silver bubble forming around the alien ships, shimmering with an almost ethereal glow. The bubble expanded rapidly, enveloping the lunar crater and the surrounding area. Down on Earth, screens worldwide displayed the surreal scene. The silver bubble pulsed and flickered. Then, with a final flash of blinding light, it vanished, along with the alien ships, the human crafts, and all the debris. A stunned silence fell over mission control centers and living rooms alike. The moon now bore a pristine, eerily smooth surface where the crater once gaped. It was as if the impact, the wreckage, and the tragic loss of the astronauts had been erased from existence. In the days that followed, governments and space agencies scrambled to understand what had transpired. Theories abounded. Some suggested a form of advanced alien technology capable of repairing the lunar surface and removing all evidence of the crash. Others speculated that the bubble was a defensive mechanism triggered by the approach of human explorers. The international community faced a pivotal moment. The evidence was irrefutable. Humanity was not alone, and the visitors possessed technology far beyond our own. The incident ignited a global debate about how to respond. Some advocated for caution, urging world leaders to avoid further provocation. Others called for accelerated space exploration and defense initiatives, fearing future encounters. In the midst of this uncertainty, a message was received. It arrived not through traditional channels, but as a series of symbols etched into the lunar surface. High-powered telescopes and satellites quickly deciphered the markings, which translated to a simple yet profound statement: "We are observing. Do not interfere." This cryptic warning sent chills through those who read it. Humanity had been given a directive from an unknown, powerful force. The message left little room for misinterpretation. Our actions were being watched, and any further attempts to approach or investigate would not be tolerated. The world was at a crossroads. Diplomatic efforts intensified, with nations coming together to form a unified strategy. The United Nations convened an emergency session, bringing together the brightest minds in science, technology, and governance to chart a course forward. As the leaders of Earth grappled with these new realities, life slowly returned to a semblance of normalcy. But the profound impact of the encounter lingered. The knowledge that we were not alone in the universe and that a superior intelligence was watching reshaped humanity's collective consciousness. The event became a catalyst for unprecedented cooperation and innovation. Scientific endeavors flourished as nations pooled their resources to understand the cosmos and our place within it. Humanity had been humbled, but also inspired to reach new heights. In the years that followed, the memory of first contact remained a powerful reminder of our shared destiny. The moon, once a symbol of human achievement, now stood as a silent sentinel of an encounter that had changed the course of history. As we looked up at the night sky, the stars seemed both closer and more mysterious than ever before. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear: we were no longer the only players on the cosmic stage. And in the vast expanse of the universe, the next chapter of our story was just beginning.